Bring in TK. Ooh, TK looking colorful today. What's up,
Hey,
buddy?
What up? What's up,
hold on.
guys?
We're on episode number 999. What is your most iconic appearance on this episode? What is the appearance on this show you'll remember the most?
That's such a great question. Um, I wish I would have had that in my coffer to anticipate before. I mean, probably the one where Kyle Matson was on with us, and it was the "Light Me Up on That Beam."
Yep.
And then it was like there was something I said that was like a big pause, and he lost it, I lost
It
it, we
was
all
it was
fell.
oh wait, well it
It
was
was the
wasn't it
warm
warm
me
me
up
up
on,
on
yeah,
that beam. That
yeah,
was
it was
what
the
that's
warm
what
me
got
up
the
on the
pause.
beam.
Yeah. There's
Yeah,
a lot.
that was a
There
classic. And well, then when she did Drake bars,
yeah,
that was epic.
that was iconic.
There's been some good ones, man. What 999 episodes is so many. That's so impressive. Did you guys? Here's a question that like maybe is a out of pocket question. Was there ever a time? Because I was talking to another friend of mine who, not another. You guys are like deeper than that, but you know what I'm saying. Like another person that I know that's been a host of a radio show, and he
Mhm.
said that he and his co-host in the early goings got into it so heavy that they literally canceled the show and they didn't go on that day. Pre-show, they had like a big fight about something. Was there ever like a time that you guys had like a bump in the road that really like helped the development of you guys as a chemistry for your show?
Help the development?
Yeah. Like cuz we
No,
sometimes what we go through, we grow through.
no, I wouldn't say that. I mean, there's a bunch of times there's a bunch of times when Damien is
Was that
probably
a
done
pause?
with you
I wanted to
boy.
try to be.
That was a
What?
I'm sorry. Kenny was trying to give a thoughtful answer, and I just thought more about what you said and started chuckling. Sorry, go ahead.
I said this on Do Some Mo. There's probably plenty of times when Damien was like, man, this guy, he's just fed up with me, just tired of me, right? Like, because fundamentally, like we go about things differently, right? So there's times when, you know, go into the show, he ain't feeling me or whatever the case may be. There's times
Why
when
isn't he feeling you though, Kenny? Did you do something wrong? Like,
I
not
mean
answer the phone or
no,
He doesn't answer
no,
his phone.
I do answer the phone. Like I answer FaceTimes, everything. Do all that all the time. But like, Damien, Jesse work hard on putting the outline of the show together. And we had to have a talk about it one time because like there's sometimes when I would go in there and I wouldn't put anything in there. But the way my life is set up, I get to it at maybe sometimes I get to it at like 7 a.m. Well, these guys, they didn't put everything in there like that's newsworthy, that was being talked about. So it's not that I'm not putting anything in there. I go through it and it's like, damn, they got everything that I would want to talk about in here. Let's get ready for the show. And I think a lot of times earlier that came off as like I'm not like doing anything. So we had a talk about that and just little stuff like that, right? Because Dame is like perfect with planning, right? And you know, I got 9 million things going on. Sometimes I don't plan the way that I would want to. So we would come in and he'd be hot. Like you could read it on, he wouldn't say nothing about it, but you could read it on his face and he was hot. I was like, oh, here we go. You know what I mean? But the testament to, and what I think is special about the show and what I'm happy about, and I don't know why it's like this. I can come in, be having a bad day, be mad at him. Life happens. I'm mad in general about life. Probably by 1 o'clock, I'm laughing, having a good time. And I don't want to speak for him, but it's usually the same thing. Like even if he comes in and he's mad at me by like 1 o'clock, like we good, like we good again, and we get that having a show. So I don't know if there's been anything that we've gone through that's necessarily helped us. I don't know. On my end, like we've been
I
cool
think
since
there's
day one.
I think in a roundabout way, there's an acceptance of what each other does well and what they don't do well. And for me, like Jesse laughed at this, like not laughed, but really, when I said I'm controlling. Like there's ways that I want the radio show to be. There are ways that I want the furniture for the 1000th episode to be set up. There's lighting. There's things that I'm hands on with everything that we do. And while that can drive people nuts, it's also a positive. And part
That's
of
a
that is
that's a liberating thing to have if you have a partner who's controlling and a perfectionist. If you're not, that's something you don't even have to think about or worry about.
and that's where you learn to like maximize each other's strengths, right? Is I will meticulously plan at 4 in the morning because I need that. I need that, especially now when topics are like 15 minutes. Like you're probably not getting 45 minutes out of a non-news day. Like you have to have a bunch of topics. Where Kenny is phenomenal is one, off the cuff. He's really, really good off the cuff. And two, a subject reminding him of another subject that leads into another discussion. And then that 15-minute conversation can now take a right turn and turn into a 45-minute conversation. So while there may be times where it's like, man, we have an open segment. Damn, Kenny couldn't even fill that one in. I know we'll be able to fill that by the way, like we go back and forth. And I just stopped being mad or frustrated about it, 3 years ago, because that's my strong suit, and he has his. He has a way of doing his show that I can't do. I check the rundown when I'm on vacation. They don't. I don't even need to create them. These dudes just come in here and talk and vibe. Like I can't do that. I have to. I got to have the GPS in front of me. Different
Yeah,
skill
that
sets.
you can tell that Kenny is brilliant at you can't plan for the things and the places that his mind is going to go. You know what I mean? Like if he knew that, he would fill that in. You know what I mean?
That's usually how it goes. The interesting thing about it is, ironically enough, I am a I am a bit more of a planner than it gives off. You know what I mean? But to your point earlier, Trista, um, like I said, I get in there. I told somebody else this. So they're always worried about like what we do, right? Like, oh man, are you guys burnt out or whatever the case may? Are you burnt out? Da, 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 da. And I believe, for me at least, there comes a time between work, um, watching games, and my family where about 10, 11 o'clock, like, I don't wanna see nothing.
Hmm.
I don't wanna see nothing. I
Hmm.
don't wanna be in front of a computer. I don't wanna
Yeah.
watch a game. Imma listen to Joe Budden
Hmm.
because that's what keeps me from being burnt out, and sometimes what would happen, and still happens with that, is I'll be like, when I wake up, I'm at it. Well, I get up at, like, 7. Dame's already been up for, like, 3 hours. The rundown is what it is. Jesse's been up or whatever, and that's how I get in there, and I'm ready to plan, ready to do some stuff, and it's like, oh man, here's this article on the top 50 shooting guards. Man, let me put this. Oh, damn, sorry in there. Or let me they did this and this power rankings, man. Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm put it. Oh, damn, it's already in there too. Well, damn, I guess I could talk about boxing, but I don't think they want to talk about you know what I mean? And I'm like, all right, well, let me sharpen. I see what's in here. Let me sharpen my mind for what's in there so I know what to talk about there. And then that's just kind of works. But there's like a 2 hour period every night where I just kind of get away. That's what helps me not burn out, in my opinion. Is where I just get away from all this stuff. Get on
What
NCAA football, get on Madden, zone out for a couple hours, and get ready to do it all over again the next day.
what you guys have built though, like in all seriousness, is lightning in a bottle. You know,
Mm.
you guys, I mean this wholeheartedly. You guys could scale this to whatever it is that you want to scale it to. The connection and the chemistry that is present on this show and the community that you guys have built, an authentic, real, deep, meaningful, where people show out in person. That tells you what the real community is like. If people come and actually step out of their house to see you, that is something that very very rare, very special, very light, long lasting, and I'm just very proud to have been a part of it, even in a small way, once a week for as many years as it's been. You guys are just tremendous.
Oh, no, it ain't no small part. You were a 12-minute hit to start.
Bro, that's 30,
like
34 minutes every
it 12 minutes turned into like 20 something. Occasionally we'll go 43 minutes. Like, yeah, it's not small. Like, people tune in for you. Like, they're here for TK.
And get this, we never talk betting.
But we don't like Bet MGM or what. They'd roll over in their grave if they knew what these conversations were like. Danny in San Francisco would be throwing his phone across the room.
You know what has been so and you guys are a huge part of this for me in my career development and my comfort in what I want to do and what I think people want me to do is that I'm in conversations right now with BetMGM to formalize like a ambassador relationship. We'll see if it ends up, you know how these things are, but we'll see what happens. But the thing that ended up sticking out about that is they said we don't even care about you talking about betting. The thing that you're most valuable to us with is your comedic social takes and what you do every day that's on BetMGM tonight or all the other hits that you do around the country that are supposedly for betting but never really touch betting at all. And it's been awesome. It's been really really awesome and the the dynamic here has made me more comfortable taking it other places too.
You're great at what you do, man.
Definitely.
Hey, great at what you
Man,
do.
we can't
Hey,
we can't pretend like this stuff isn't just readily available for us. All the ladies
out there.
Y'all know what it is. Come on, man.
Did it take so long to learn the simple game that we call love? Players now that we learn the game too. Change the rules quick and now we have to game you.
Playing this on KSFM today.
What?
Hey.
Your moon shaped eyes go like firefly, smiles bright when you surprise. You kiss me and bite my lip when you grab my thighs.
Well,
pulling out
come on
chairs, open all the doors to my ride. Chivalry's a turn on and you flipping the switch.
I only need one door open.
TK frozen mid excitement.
I don't know. I mean, I'm still a fan. I don't know if we have him. He's a thug and I love him.
Nah, I don't know why that's not on the hotkey bank. I'm not sure why.
Right there. That was a banger.
That's what I was looking for. Is that record was playing? I for some reason it's not on the hotkey bank.
See, Krick, we've been knowing. I mean, Cam just figured out we've been knowing what TK's bars was like. Man, come on,
When
man.
he called and was like, "Yo, you got bars?" I'm like, "This is not a real conversation. This is not a real conversation."
So we talked about this. I don't think we talked about it on this show. You and I talked about it privately. Is that one take?
That was one take.
I told you it would be one take. I told you.
One take.
You got it like that. She got it like that.
And the end, when I was like, man, that was fun. Like, that was really fun. You know, there was the thing about not really wanting to be a rapper ever anymore is that I don't, and I think this, we get philosophical a little bit on this show every now and again, is like, I just don't, when you don't attach any meaning to things that are normally, things people stress out about, it's very liberating. I don't want to be a rapper. I don't care about that at all. And when Cam was like, "Yo, when I was trying to get on and like Biggie had me rap for him, I just did it." And I'm like, "Yeah, but Cam, I don't want to be a rapper anymore. Like, I want to make sports content and make people laugh." He's like, "Oh, well, take that part out." I'm like, "Well, that's the key piece here. I'm not pushing for this. I don't care about this." And there's something really fun, and I feel this way about radio and kind of the professional side of being on the Fan in New York and the Score in Chicago. Like, I never grew up wanting to do this. So it's just whatever to me in the best possible way, because what you're getting is what feels natural. And if it doesn't work and people don't like it, then great. Like, I'm going to just keep doing my thing.
What did you want to do? You didn't want to rap? You didn't want to talk sports? What did you want to do?
I did want to rap at 16,
Oh,
but I
okay.
don't want to rap at 38. You
Okay.
know, I wanted to hoop. I thought I was gonna play. That's really, I wanted to hoop, and I wanted to rap. That was it. I told my mom I was gonna have a private chef. She didn't need to learn to teach me how to cook. She didn't need to teach me how to clean. They didn't tell me about how the Portland Power guard was making less than a teacher. They didn't tell me about that
Mm.
part.
Ironically, I thought I was going to play too, but I wanted to be a history teacher, a high school history teacher. And what I came to find out later in life is, I get a little more wiser. It was never about the curriculum. Like I like history a lot, but when I went to school and wanted to major in it, I was like, this is boring. Like I don't want to take all these classes. This is boring. So I switched to major. But working with the kids and teaching the kids wasn't about the curriculum. It was about impacting people's lives. And that's really what it was about. And I didn't realize that. One of my favorite classes was history. I wanted to help kids. So I was like, I'll be a history teacher in high school. It'll be good. And nah, it was more so just I want to influence and impact kids' lives. And years later, that's what I ended up doing with being a basketball coach. I used that was my classroom, was the basketball court and working
What
with
do
these.
you real quick pivot, because you mentioned wanting to impact people and coaching. What
Mhm.
did you guys think about Tua's recent comments about Brian Flores, and Brian Flores, saying a bunch of stuff that he thought eroded his confidence?
I liked Brian's response first, where he was like, "Yeah, I'll use this to be better." But I can like understand where Tua was coming from. Even not being there, if that's the way the situation played out, like, what do you get from someone telling you you're bad at something? Like you're terrible at this. Like you're not good at this. Consider doing something else with your life. I don't think Brian said that to him, but when someone is just doing something to chip away at your confidence day after day after day, especially someone who's so important to what you do every day. Yeah, I can't fault Tua for feeling the way he feels about Brian Flores.
Yeah, Brian Flores. I don't try to do. We don't try to do this, but he coming on like a bad coach. That's bad coaching. That is just bad coaching. Bad understanding what you got to do. It's one thing to, um, to be demanding and to be maybe hard on the player to try and get them better. But I believe as a coach, you have to mix in some level of I still believe in you. This is why I'm doing this because I believe in what you could be. You can't just beat them down the whole time. There's got to be a level of building them up. And if you can get to the point where, say, Flores was tough on Tua, but Tua knew like he's tough on me because he respects me. He wants me to be the best quarterback I can be, and I'm gonna listen to him because of that. Then I think you can figure some stuff out. Like you can work through that. But if it's just always negativity, yeah, that's a bad job by Brian Flores.
And he might have been trying to figure out who he was as a head coach too. And he might have been coached that like that, or he might have been around coaches like that and saw that worked, right? And we say this all of the time with whether it's coaches, and we do this a lot, with coaches here because of the unique dynamic that Malik and Mike Brown have. Mike's not going to have that same dynamic with every single player. And it's really, really important for coaches or people in leadership positions to understand the personalities of the people that they're, quote, leading. And, we laugh we get these surveys from like our Odyssey management team. Do you prefer compliments or tokens of appreciation? Would you? And it's like, okay, this is so corny, but I understand what you're doing. You don't have the time to get to know all of us. So you're trying to figure out like our different personalities, and people are wired different. And some people are motivated by, trainers who get in your face. Come on, you suck. Do an extra push-up. Like some people are I'm not. Don't try that with me. And clearly clearly Tua Tagovailoa is not, and Brian Flores didn't do his job in understanding that and learning that. And I'll take Brian at his word that he's learned from that.
Yeah. And I think we all probably have professional instances where that was done to us.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I tell you what, boy, I had Barstool PTSD by watching that video. I was like, that was my 2 years there. My whole time there was like that by my colleagues. And my time at Odyssey has felt overwhelmingly like Mike McDaniel. So it's I thought I was gonna leave the business. Honestly, I thought I should leave the business and not continue and like sell high end homes in Malibu or something. I literally was like, I
Well,
can't.
that'd have been fire.
I would have been good at it, boy.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have been as fun, but like really, that stuff can really eat at you. And when you're not succeeding, even when people do believe, you go back to like all those people who you who were good, who were successful, who told you like, no, you're not funny. Like you're not funny. You're cringe. Like you're like you're trying too hard, or you're not very smart. You don't know basketball. Like they made T-shirts that said Trysta Krick doesn't know basketball and sold them on the website. So I literally got PTSD watching that.
And that's the difference between tearing somebody down and trying to coach or lead or something like that, right? Like it, even if you tell somebody like you're not good enough or you're not funny or you're not a good quarterback right now, like I really wouldn't advise doing that. But there's a way to go about it where you're still trying to build them up. Like you'll tell the guy, like right now, like you think you're this and that. You're not that. You're not that. Like you're not. If I'm Brian Flores talking to Tua, you're not this top flight quarterback. You're not a franchise guy. That doesn't mean you can't be that. I'm telling you right now, this is where you're at. And if you want to get there, these are the things that you need to do. Like there's a way to
Maybe
go
instead
about
of
it.
saying you're not, saying you can become.
But you can, I'm a believer in saying, like, you're not that right now. Like you're
Mm.
not. The Tua was sitting up here saying, I'm a franchise guy. And Brian Flores was like, you're not franchise right now. You're not a franchise quarterback. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But leaving it at that is the problem. You always
He
pick that up with,
he made it sound like literally they were having no conversation, and Brian was just telling them like, "Yo, you
yeah,
stink. You're
that's
terrible."
and that's where that's a fail. That is wrong. My thing is you tell him like, yo, you're not franchise right now. I believe that you can get there, and I'm gonna help you get there. And these are some of the things that you need to do to get to that point. Just because, like I'm, it's like anything else. I wasn't, a great basketball player at the age of 16. I wasn't there. I wasn't an all-American player. But say, hey, if you work, by the time you're 19, you can be, this college player or somebody that's productive or something like that. And that's how you approach it, in my opinion. Like you can be honest, maybe sometimes brutally honest with you, but you don't leave the person there to fend for themselves. You tell them that's not where you're at right now. We're gonna get there together. Like I'm gonna
Well, and
help you.
once you tell him that though, there's no reason to tell him again, right? Unless that
That's
conversation comes
mm,
up, right? Like there's once you say, "Listen, you're not a franchise guy right now. Let's work together this season to get you there." Now
mhm,
the rest of the conversation should be positive. Now
absolutely.
every day it's let's go out and get great. Let's
Mm,
find ways. Here's what you're let's move the like let it behooves me to build an offense to maximize your strengths. You get the
mhm,
ball out faster than any other quarterback in the league. Let's find guys so that you can get the ball to them and they're open. You know what I
mm,
mean? Like you're not a guy that can sit in the pocket for a million years. Guess what? Not many quarterbacks can.
facts.
Do you have? Oh, well, wait, she's hi.
Did
Do
I
you?
did I cut out?
Yeah. No, you're
I
back.
don't know why. I don't know
No,
why. Let me check.
you're good. No, now you're frozen again. No, it's fine. It's $9.99. We don't become great till tomorrow, so it's no problem. That's what the that's
Am
what
I frozen again?
yeah. No, we got you. You're good. I just wanted to know, like, what are you doing at that house? are you building a
Yeah,
new,
I'm about to say,
like,
you
what are you
building one?
doing
All right, you
over
guys
there?
want to see? All right, let's check it out. All right, so every day it's something new. Every day. So like this is the garage. Normally there'll be siding and there'll be a wall underneath the siding.
Uh-huh.
Turns out whoever built this garage decided, oh no, we don't need that wall. We can just side on to nothing. So these boards are rotted, as you can see. And so now we need to find some wood to put them on the back. These ones are windows, which I think is fire.
That is fine.
And I think that'll look really good once it gets restored. So the siding needs to come off. Need to get some wood from the lumber store. Need to put some plywood down, and then I need to use siding called hardy board, which is like a cement sort of combo thing, which I did on this other side, which we're going to show you, to actually create siding. So here we go. This is all me
Really
right
nice.
here. Look at
Yeah.
this.
That
That's
looks
Look
all
how
you.
nice this looks. This is all me
That's
right
what-
here. This is a nail gun. This is a
Where did
ladder.
you? So where did you learn to do this stuff?
This is my first time ever doing it. This is YouTube.
Oh, you're
What
one
can
of
I say?
those
I'm just
people.
great.
That's no, that's infuriating. People who can watch YouTube videos and I can go do that. Those, you
I
know what
wouldn't-
those are though? Those are, we talk about this with Dancing with the Stars. Those are athletes. Athletes can see instructions and follow them better, I think, than some other people can. Certainly a hell of a lot better than I can, because what you just showed I couldn't do.
You could. Here's how I know you could. It seems way harder when you imagine it than it is. Really, like really. So you pull the boards off, and underneath is a piece of wood that they use to kind of like keep the house up in framing.
Yeah.
You
That's good.
get this
Yeah.
product. It's called a moisture barrier. It's basically like it's
This
called
conversation.
Tyvek. You basically peel it off and then you tack it on. Then once you tack it on, then you take a nail gun. You make sure that this is straight. You take a nail gun. First piece of siding on. Once the first piece is on, now you're basically home free. There's this little accessory that you can get that's like, I think, overpriced but totally worth it. It's like $80 at minimum. And it basically goes underneath the existing piece of siding, and then there's an opening to put the new piece of siding on that just rests on perfectly based on the measurement that you create, which is like 1.25 inches of an overlap, so you don't see the nails that you just put on. And then once it's there, you just put the nails on 1 inch below the top, and then just rinse and repeat. Boom, 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 boom. Really, that's it.
I believe
I'm about to YouTube how to build a pool.
I do believe if you give me instructions, I can follow instructions. I may not have the imagination or the wherewithal to create it on my own.
Correct.
Where, but if you give me instructions, I can do anything. Now
I-
it doesn't go as far as like Andrew Schultz, where I remember he used to always say, "I can do open heart surgery if you give me the instructions." I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, I don't know about that, buddy.
This isn't that. This isn't that at all. Like really, it's a lot more. And I've never been handy until I needed to be. And here's the best thing about a house that's 100 years old, what has been put together by some non-professional jankily, is anything I do is better than it already is.
Yeah.
The fact that I'm about to put a wall underneath the siding and then a moisture barrier is about 5 times better than whatever this joker did in 1965.
See, there's a lot of things that I would try. I don't know that the house is one of them. Like in my new studio, I
But-
tried to put these panels on the wall because it was a hardwood floor. Like I had to put carpet. I had to change the sound of the room.
It's granite.
Yes.
It's not granite.
Well,
I had to change the sound of the room. And I walked into, like, one day I walked into the room and like, why are these pads over here like changing sides? And now you can see the white in the wall, but no other part in the whole room did that. I didn't take into account the first 2 months I had that house, there were no window coverings. So the 110-degree heat was just bearing through, and it was essentially it's pulling the sticky stuff off the wall just because it's sitting in the sun for eternity. I'm not smart enough to figure that stuff out. I sure as hell am not going to try to build something I have to live in.
Well, also, let's be honest. The house that you moved into, turnkey. The house I'm at right now, not turnkey. We'll call it a lived-in fixer-upper.
A lived-in fixer-upper. I'm with that. We love you.
So I'm gonna break some news here. I'm gonna also talk about this tonight on BetMGM tonight, but because I love the Chatty House and I love y'all, Thursday will be my last show on BetMGM tonight. I want to still obviously. I'm still coming on this show. That doesn't impact us in any way. Like I could be working
an
for
Odyssey relationship.
Yeah, I could be working for the telephone company, and I'm gonna come on this show. So that's what's popping. Needless to say, we couldn't come to
part 2 to this
nothing.
announcement?
We'll keep you updated about that. There's nothing complete.
You hit me with the. We'll keep you updated.
I have nothing to report right now.
Okay. All right. You will though.
We'll see. The universe, I think, will provide.
And I'm pretty sure it will.
I think this is the right call.
You know what's funny though? Before I let you guys go, because it sticks out to me, is that even when I was talking with the head of all sports content this morning of Odyssey, and he was telling me like, "Hey, I'm sorry to see you go," kind of a thing. He even told me, for Trysta Krick Inc., I believe you've made the right decision.
Mm-hmm.
I keep hearing you've made the right call, you've made the right decision, even though it's scary and uncertain. And I think you thought this through, and I think this will be the best thing for your career and your life. That's been the thing that has stuck out the most to me. And I appreciate that. Like I really do. It means it doesn't do anything to pay my bills, but it does give me confidence.
Yeah. You're one of the most talented people I know. You're one of the best in your fields of people that I know. And yeah, Odyssey, this company was just too small for you. And I'll have no problem saying that. I like working here. I love our team here in Sacramento. Mm-hmm. This company was too small for you. You were I'm excited for when you update us. I'll say that.
That's right.
I hope so. I hope I have something to update you on soon. But in the meantime, Trysta Tuesdays will continue. I will have so much time on my hands. I'll have so many good stories. I'm planning to go to Quebec
Thursdays,
City.
Trysta Sundays.
Trysta with time on her hands. Boy, I haven't had that since 2016. It's going to be cracking.
That's going to be a 6-story beachfront house in like a month.
Caitlin Clark plays the Mystics on the 16th. I'm going to go to the Spy Museum. I'm going to try to go to Quebec City. I'm going to go to the little women in media gala that I'm invited to.
Yeah, we didn't. There. Can you acknowledge that real quick? Because we didn't. I saw it right after you left us, and we haven't talked since. As
not
you're
even
leaving,
sports media. I guess it's just media altogether.
It's women in media.
Game-changing women and media. And when Odyssey nominated me, I don't think they realized how much I was about to change the game on us and our relationship.
Too late. Can't take it back now.
Can't take it back.
I was like, man, the day, literally, because it came out the day I told them I'm not coming back. I was like, wow, this is interesting timing. It's like the front cover of Odyssey at Work, the website. And I was like,
I ain't going to be here.
Yeah.
They had to learn the hard way in this situation. Yeah,
but I'm excited.
Yeah, you this the other thing about this too. While you're technically maybe in between jobs, this is the time to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Where you ain't got no schedule, man, go see a bunch of stuff, go see games, whatever the case may be. Enjoy that, because somebody told me one time, it's about to be real busy in just a little. about to be real
I'm
busy.
low key fascinated by the Spy Museum. I've never done that before, and you
It's
just
brand new. They redid it in DC, and apparently it's awesome. I've been telling myself I've wanted to do it, and I just haven't had the time to do it because, like, when you're off work, you're just trying to catch up on your like life.
Yeah.
So I just haven't done it. And as you guys know, I'm moving back to the West Coast to be closer to Sacramento, of course. That's the primary reason.
It's lit.
So yeah, I'm gonna get everything I want to see on the East Coast done. But yeah, Spy Museum is supposed to be freaking awesome. Really, like, really cool.
You know what my
Yeah.
favorite place that didn't make it was the Newseum. Did you ever go?
Oh yeah, I
I
know.
love the new. It was it's basically like the media. So you could go in and you'd see like newspapers from
awesome.
forever ago, and they'd have displays. I saw a display for was it Katrina? Hurricane Katrina? Was that that was the one that hit New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
And then they had a 9/11 display. They had a display that aired all of the different newscasts from the JFK assassination and the
Wow.
funeral. It was a spectacular place to just
Sounds fantastic.
get lost in all day.
They had an apartment complex right on top of it
That's right.
that
Yep.
I almost moved into when I first
Of course you
moved to
did.
DC. And then, well, actually, it was the place that I was trying to move into was like in the wharf,
Your
and it wasn't done yet.
correct me if I'm wrong, your balcony would have been the Capitol?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
yeah.
She lives
That's
a
where
life,
that's
boy.
what for so for context, that's where the museum is you step out once
That
you get
sounds
onto those
pretty
upper
cool.
floors, you look out and there it is right
Well,
there.
they were gonna. So the apartment I was gonna move into wasn't that one, but it was like not ready yet, and they were like, "Well, we're 3 months behind, but here's what we're gonna do: put you in short-term housing at the museum." And I was like, "That sounds cool and all, but like, I have all my stuff coming in from LA. I need somewhere to put it that's not a place for 3 months. So I'm just gonna find another apartment, and that's what I ended up doing."
This
But yeah.
it's not the same as a museum, but you talked about the Spy Museum, and it reminded me of this. Have either of you ever done an escape room?
No.
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
No.
Wouldn't do that. Nope.
It's not that.
My life, literally my first between 6 years old and like 9 or 10 years old, like my life was the escape room. So I'm good.
Well, I don't know.
I'm
Maybe
good.
I'm classifying it wrong, but it's not that. It's not scary or anything like that. It's weird. Um, maybe does it have a different name? You're trying to steal a diamond.
Oh, that's not it. The escape room is literally they lock you somewhere and it might be dark, and
What's
you
that?
have to
What's that
try
called?
to
What's it
get
That's
called?
out.
that's the
A
escape room.
scavenger
No,
But
hunt.
no, it's not. I mean, it is that to a certain degree, but I think the term for it, or like the company calls it like an escape room because you're trying to escape with the diamond. That's what it is.
Oh, that would be
that
But
fun.
sounds like Robert. Whatever gets you through the night, pal. That sounds illegal to me. But
Yeah,
that's
it sounds like you just
don't
living
rope me
out
into your
an.
little schemes here, buddy.
Yo, really quickly, I know I'm changing the subject again, and I'm supposed to be getting off, but I don't care.
Pause.
Um,
Wow. It doesn't matter. Yeah,
pause,
we've well
pause,
blown past that.
it's lit.
pause. But that is actually a great segue. Did you guys see the sexy red lip glosses?
No, yeah, no, we're not doing that.
I just
So
wanted to we can just
no,
go.
so
We can
we
just
had
go
That's a
to
a
just
wild
like
girl.
we
That's
don't
a
even have
wild
to
girl.
go any further. But like, just that's it.
hey,
That's a
That's
so
all.
wild girl right there, boy.
so Dame Lillard,
Do you think he gets disrespected?
I
well,
do think he gets disrespected.
they act like I don't be doing what I've been doing. I think people just get bored with consistency. That's Dame Lillard talking about not getting the credit he thinks he deserves.
Well, I
But
think Dame Lillard, when he was in Portland, was disrespected because it was Portland and nobody took us seriously because it was the Warriors and that was it. Like, just period. Everybody kind of knew that. I think even the Rockets with CP3 and Harden kind of knew like that's the hurdle. So like nobody was really checking for us.
I think he
And
does
then
get disrespected.
he does. And then when he went to Milwaukee, he hadn't been working out because he didn't want to get injured. He clearly was going through stuff. His eyes were dead inside. And he just wasn't himself on the floor. He got injured. So like people kind of forgot. After 1 year, people have kind of like slept on him.
Yeah, and they think he's like his career's damn near over.
Well, send him our show from yesterday. We gave Dame a lot of love yesterday on the show.
TK, I said Dame is a top 5 point guard of all time.
What's your 5?
I got Steph, Magic, Isaiah Thomas. Who was the 4th?
Chris Paul.
Chris Paul and Dame Lillard. I said Dame Lillard's better than John Stockton.
Yes, maybe. I mean, I feel like sometimes I will downgrade athletes that I personally do not like based on things that they've done out off the court. And I can't really like John Stockton's gotten really weird lately. Like like really weird. So I think that's okay. I think
He's
we
a
can
bad boy though. Like John Stockton could go, especially like early John Stockton. In his first 6-7 years in the league, like he was a problem. I remember watching one Lakers game with Magic and all those dudes. They had no answer for John. He was killing.
I wonder how many kids had to look up John Stockton after Not Like Us came out. I'm being serious. I'm dead serious.
A good amount of them.
Because it's not like he's not like Isaiah. Like he's not like a guy you see from that era all of the time.
Yeah.
I bet people were singing that. I bet there are people who still say that line that don't know.
They don't understand. They don't understand the whole thing.
Honestly, yeah, I was just about to say the same thing, Kenny. Like that line was one of the most underrated lines, and I think had gone over so many people's heads because of Karl Malone, who was the recipient of pass him like John Stockton, pass on that body like John Stockton, because Karl Malone was passing on nobodies.
No matter
he was
how
dunking.
old they were.
He was dunking, regardless.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we definitely interpreted that line differently because I wasn't thinking about dunking. Not thinking about dunking.
John Stockton was a really, really, really good basketball player. One of the great point guards of all time. Dame Lillard's better than him.
I just take Isaiah off the list because I'm a hater.
I can't believe.
See, that's what I'm saying. Because you don't like Isaiah. Yeah.
That's right. I put Russell Westbrook in there just on principle alone. Man averaged like 47 straight triple doubles, and y'all act like he wasn't the one.
People who put Russell Westbrook in their top 5 are doing it for the culture. Like that's what we're doing it for. Like you're not doing it for any reason too. I love Russ. Business.
Isaiah was amazing though.
Nah,
Isaiah was amazing. I love Russ though. I ain't gonna say nothing bad about Russ because that's my guy. But I think Dame is in there though. I think Dame top 5.
I think he's the second best shooter
of all time, right?
Yeah, of all time. Yeah.
Yeah.
He can do almost actually we see for the first time the difference between Steph and Dame. And the one caveat to that is that Dame was injured and he had that core injury in the Tokyo Olympics, but he was getting crushed. He was completely ineffective, even though he's a really good off the ball shooter. But Steph is just the difference between Dame and Steph is much larger than even me, the Damian Lillard lover that I am as a Portland Trailblazer fan, even that I could anticipate. And the first few games of the Olympics, I was like, see these smaller, non-physical, like off the ball shooters, like Steph, like Dame, they get crushed in the Olympics. The physicality is just too much for them. And then Steph showed up finally and broke the internet. Showed the world. Oh no.
He sure did. My goodness. All right. We really
do have to go. All right. Love you guys. I'll see you next week.